doing, guys? It's Luke here of SimBoxx in association with Adrenaline Performance and Clint Patrick's. This is the short and snappy SimBoxx prediction for Demetrius Andrade versus Liam the Machine Willaims. It's the WBO Middleweight World Title fight. It goes down tonight in Miami, Florida, live on DAZN. It's going to be broadcast at UK prime time, which is great news for UK boxing fans. And this is a great fight. I think this, certainly to UK fans, is a very exciting 50-50 fight maybe. It's being overlooked, certainly by American boxing fans, pundits, that don't really know too much about Liam Willaims. But here in the UK, we know that he's got a 23-2-1 record. We know that he's been beat a couple of times by Liam Smith. The first fight, somewhat controversially with the cut. The second fight was a points loss, but that was back at super welterweight in 2017. And since that loss, that setback, Liam Willaims has been revitalised. He's linked up with Domingo. He's moved up to 160 pounds. He's a two-time British title holder at super welterweight and at middleweight, and he's arguably the most improved fighter in the UK over the past 3 or 4 years. He's been so dominant in beating the likes of Mark Efron, and he's solidified himself as the best at 160 pounds domestically, and he's finally getting his chance at a world title fight. He's looked at Demetrius Andrade for a long time, whereas with Demetrius, he's maybe been overlooking Liam Willaims in the search for a bigger fight with the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Jamal Charlo, Daniel Jacobs, and other guys around that 160, 168 pound mark, along with Canelo. We all know Demetrius Andrade was due to fight Billy Joe Saunders a couple of years back. That fell through at the last minute. And I think there's some resentment maybe from American fans, a little bit of disappointment that at 33 years of age, Demetrius Andrade doesn't really have a standout victory on his record. You know, he's 29-0, 18 wins by knockout, and the best win on his record is maybe Jack Kulkai, or it's Vanez Matchroom. So at 33 years of age, you think that Andrade, as a two-weight world champion, having won the WBO world title at both light middleweight and at middleweight, maybe would have had a bit more of a stronger resume. But that all goes out the window on Saturday night. That doesn't matter. The one mutual name on the records is Alantez Fox. A lot of people will draw comparisons in the fact that Alantez Fox dropped Demetrius Andrade before losing unanimously after 12 rounds back in 2017. Whereas Liam Willaims, on the other hand, he smashed Alantez Fox in 5 rounds. He really bullied the American, and he stopped him in 5 rounds. He dropped him in the 4th, he dropped him in the 5th. The fight was waved off. And that is probably the standout victory on the Welshman's record. So people will draw comparisons from that, although we all know styles make fights. Styles. These guys are polarising characters, polarising styles. They couldn't be further apart. A lot of people are looking at Demetrius Andrade. He's tall, he's a southpaw, he's very rangy, he's got a great jab, he's got really long limbs, he knows how to use those to effect. Sometimes he gets labelled as boring, but it depends on how you like your boxing. As a boxing purist, Demetrius Andrade is great to watch. He's very fluid, he doesn't waste many punches, he doesn't get punched a lot, but he's not the most exciting fighter. Whereas Liam Willaims, he wears his heart on his sleeve, he's a come forward fighter, he's the machine, he throws a lot of punches, he'll take a punch to land a punch, and he's very, very tough. I'm very excited about this fight, and I think it's a lot closer than a lot of people give Liam Willaims respect for. As I say, he's overlooked quite a lot, especially by American audiences, and I think if Demetrius Andrade was to defeat Liam Willaims, Liam Willaims will become the best name on the record of Demetrius Andrade, which is, again, quite surreal to think that he's been around for so long. He made his pro debut back in 2008, 2009. Liam Willaims, I think he has the potential to win this fight. I think if he gets up on the chest of Demetrius Andrade, he doesn't let him settle into a rhythm. I think if he puts a lot of pressure on, goes to the body a lot as well, stops Andrade moving fluidly around the ring, he makes him catch his breath, and I think he needs to make him work for every second of every round. I think a game plan similar, although completely different fighters, a game plan similar to something like what David Evanesian displayed against Josh Keller, whereas when Andrade wants to take a rest and sit back and admire his work, that's where I would like to see Liam Willaims push on and step on the gas. I think he's got a tremendous tank, although we've seen all his fights, in the past 4 years. 7 fights, 7 wins by knockout, all end inside the scheduled distance. Liam Willaims is a very fit fighter. He's got a great engine, and he will be able to last a 12-round distance. It's a slight worry as to if he could outbox Demetrius Andrade over 12 rounds. I'm not too sure he would stick to a game plan to win over 12 rounds. I think if it goes the distance, you'd favour Demetrius Andrade, because you'd feel if it got to the 12-round distance that Andrade has established a jab, he established a rhythm, he was able to keep Liam Willaims at bay. Yeah, so I think if it goes the distance, I don't think this is a Liam Willaims victory, especially with it being out in America as well. I think Liam Willaims will go in there, as I say, he'll sit on his chest, he'll unload to the body, and if you chop down at a tree long enough, it will fall. And I believe Demetrius Andrade falls between rounds 8 and 10, and I think Britain will have a new WBO middleweight world champion in Liam the Machine Willaims. I'm going with the underdog. The bookies have him as the underdog, but I see Liam Willaims winning this fight. Guys, thanks for checking out my prediction video today. Let me know in the comments below, how do you see this fight going? Does Demetrius Andrade remain undefeated? Will Liam Willaims be the new WBO middleweight world champion? Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know on our social media channels as well, at SimBoxx on Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, we've got plenty more content on the way, and I'll catch you on the next one.